Hello dear friends, welcome back again to another video from my YouTube channel. Dear friends, in our previous video we discussed about the self-pollination and the cross-pollination, and we compared the two types of pollination and we made it very clear that cross-pollination is always better than the self-pollination. After that we discussed about the outbreeding devices. That means they are the devices developed by a plant to perform the cross-pollination and to avoid the self-pollination. Now, in this video, we're going to understand about the artificial hybridization. Artificial means definitely it is not natural, it is man-made hybridization. What do you mean by hybridization? Hybridization means the process of formation of hybrids. That means in hybridization process, hybrids are produced. Hybrids are produced. Hybrids are produced in the hybridization process. Now, what is this hybrid means? Hybrid consisting of two different words in it. Hybrid. High means increased variety, superior quality. This superior quality of a plant is produced under the process of hybridization. Now, why there is a necessity to produce the hybrids? Hybrids are produced to meet the human needs. Population is continuously increasing in the world. To meet the demand of the food in the world, hybrids are produced. Hybrids, they are produced to meet the nutritional value. To get the nutritional value, to get the superior variety, the hybrids are produced under the hybridization process. This hybridization process is widely practiced by the plant breeders. By the plant breeders. Who are the plant breeders? Plant breeders are the scientists who are involved in improving the plant quality or variety, improving the variety of a plant. Some scientists are working, such scientists are called as plant breeders. Now, this hybridization, it is possible only in cross-pollination. Only in cross-pollination. We can produce the hybrids only by cross-pollinating the plant. In self-pollination, it is not at all possible to produce the hybrids. Now, this is the basic thing about the hybridization. This is a layman knowledge about the hybridization. Now, what is the scientific definition of hybridization? Hybridization is a process of production of hybrids in which two plants of different characters, are crossed. Here crossed means it is artificially they are cross-pollinated. Two plants, and these two plants are called as parental plants. In hybridization process, these two plants are called as parental plants, which are used to produce the hybrid in future, of different characters, but they belong to the same genus. With many different characters of two different plants, they are crossed to produce a superior variety of plant. This is the scientific definition of hybridization, and the ultimate intention, the main objective of hybridization process is to produce a superior variety of a plant by crossing the two different plants of different characters. This is the hybridization process. Now, how this hybridization is done? The first step the first step of hybridization is selection of parents with desired characters. That means here the parental plants are selected with some desired features, with some desired characters. Two plants are selected. Now, second step is very, very important for examination, my dear friends. Second step is emasculation. Emasculation. In emasculation, what is done is, suppose this is a plant, this is one parental plant that we have selected out of two. Two parental plants are selected, but I have drawn only one for our understanding. Here, this is one of the parental plant. In this parental plant, we have bisexual flower. That means we have male reproductive part also and we have the female reproductive part also. This is bisexual flower. In this bisexual flower, the anthers are removed. They are the anthers. Anthers means they are the structures in which the pollen grains are produced. Anthers are removed. Anthers are cut off by using the sterile forceps. By using sterile forceps, anthers are removed. Why these anthers are removed? Once the anthers are removed from a bisexual flower, that means there is no scope for self-pollination here. There is no chance of having the self-pollination. Why? Because we have already removed the anther. That process is called as emasculation. Emasculation means removal of anther from a bisexual flower, when the anthers are removed, after the maturity of the anther or before the maturity of the anther. What do you mean by maturity of the anther? If the anther starts producing the pollen grains, then we can consider the anther get matured. If the anther is not producing the pollen grains, then under such conditions, the anthers are said to be immature. So, before the anther get matured, the anther should be removed. Before the maturity of the anther, anthers are removed from the bisexual flower. Removal of anther from a bisexual flower before it get matured. Before the maturity, we are removing the anther from a bisexual flower by using sterile forceps. These forceps are there in our dissection boxes. By using the sterile forceps, we are removing the anthers from a bisexual flower. When we are removing it, before they are getting matured. And why we are removing them? We are removing them to prevent the self-pollination. Removal of anther from a bisexual flower before it get matured by using a sterile forceps to avoid self-pollination. This is called as emasculation. Emasculation means here we had the anthers in the bisexual flower. Before these anthers they get mature, we have removed them by using sterile forceps to prevent the self-pollination or to avoid the self-pollination. That process is called as emasculation. This is the very important process for examination. Removal of anthers from a bisexual flower before it get matured by using a sterile forceps to avoid the self-pollination. Once the anthers are removed from this bisexual flower, now it is no more called as normal flower. It is said to be the emasculated flower. Emasculated flower. Why it is called as emasculated flower? Because we have removed the anther. That is why it is no more called as the normal flower. It is called as emasculated flower. Now, the third step is bagging. Bagging is the third step. Bagging means covering this emasculated flower. Which flower it is? Is it normal flower or emasculated flower? Yes, it is emasculated flower. Covering this emasculated flower with a butter bag or a butter paper. Covering this emasculated flower with a butter bag. Covering this emasculated flower with a butter bag. That is called as the bagging. Why we have covered? Just recall the thing that we have started our discussion with. Hybridization is possible only in cross-pollination, only by a cross-pollination process. So we have covered this emasculated flower with a butter bag so that unwanted pollen grains should not drop on the stigma of this flower. We have not at all disturbed the female part during emasculation. Emasculation means only the removal of male reproductive part. We have not at all disturbed, we have not at all damaged this female reproductive part. This female reproductive part should be covered with a butter bag to prevent the landing of unwanted pollen grains. That process is called as bagging. Bagging means covering emasculated flower with a butter paper to avoid the landing of unwanted pollen grains on stigma. Stigma should be covered with the butter paper to avoid the contamination, to avoid the landing of unwanted pollen grains. That method is called as bagging. Bagging. Once the bagging is done, now the desired pollen grains means we have selected the two parents for our hybridization process. In one parent we made the emasculation and bagging, and from the other parent we should collect the pollen grains and drop on the stigma of this emasculated flower so that we can get the desired plant in future. So these two are the very important steps of artificial hybridization. In your NCERT only 2 steps are given. You can skip this step, it is not so important, but the 2 steps of artificial hybridization are emasculation and bagging. They are the 2 steps of artificial hybridization. Recall the thing. What is emasculation? Emasculation means removal of anther from a bisexual flower before it get matured by using sterile forceps to avoid the self-pollination. To avoid the self-pollination, we are doing emasculation, and to avoid the contamination of unwanted pollen grains, we are covering the stigma with a bag, and that bag is nothing but a butter paper bag. This is the artificial hybridization, my dear friends. I hope you people have got an idea about the artificial hybridization. In our next video, we are going to discuss the very interesting, very astonishing, very surprising process, that is pollen pistil interaction and double fertilization. Thank you, dear friends.